If you love the lip-smacking taste of dill pickles, then you have to make dill pickle bread. This is a quick and easy one that doesn't use any yeast, there's no kneading or proofing of any dough, and it's ready in about 1 hour. It goes beautifully with a bowl of soup, or a salad, or any meal really, and this dill pickle bread toasts beautifully. And in case you were wondering, it makes the most fantastic sandwiches, especially grilled cheese. Now you can't tell me that doesn't look good. And for a tuna sandwich, it puts all other breads to shame. Don't forget the full recipe link is in the description. Now let's make dill pickle bread. So we're going to start with our dry ingredients in a nice large bowl. Here I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm actually weighing out 360 grams. The flour is the one ingredient that I do like to weigh because I know that it's going to give me perfect results. All right, now to that, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. There we go. Half a teaspoon of baking soda, some salt, 1 tablespoon of dried dill, and I'm going to give that a quick mix. Just like that. And here I have 100 grams of cheddar cheese. That's about 1 cup. I'm going to grate that in. And I'm actually using an old cheddar. You can use medium or mild or whatever. All right, now let's give that a mix. Just make sure that that cheddar is fully coated and well distributed. All right, we're gonna set that aside. And now into a smaller bowl, I'm going to crack 1 egg and just beat that really well. We want to get it really nice and scrambled. And now to this, I'm going to add 1 cup of full-fat sour cream. You can also use Greek yogurt or just plain yogurt. Half a cup of milk. Here I have 1 tablespoon of the dill pickle juice. And now I'm just going to whisk that all together. Whoops, oh my goodness. Now I'm just going to whisk that all together so we have a nice smooth mixture here. Now I'm going to take these dill pickles here, just start chopping them up. I'm just going to chop them into a nice small dice, kind of like that. These are the little pieces you want. You could grate the pickles as well, or you could even chop them larger if you wanted to. Not a big deal, I just prefer really small pieces. So here I have a total of 1 cup of chopped pickles going into the wet ingredients. Let's mix that in. Kind of looks like tartar sauce. Now I'm going to make a little well in the dry ingredients and add the wet ingredients into it. And now I'm going to just start mixing it until it's about half incorporated. You don't want to mix it all the way. This is going to be a very stiff batter. It's almost going to be more like a soft dough. And that's what it should look like. If your batter is very runny and you have to pour it into the pan or spread it into the pan, then it's too thin. Your dill pickle bread is going to be more like dill pickle cake. So add more flour if necessary. But before this is fully incorporated, now I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of melted butter. And the reason why you want to add the butter now rather than with the wet ingredients is because there's a good chance that it would solidify and not mix in properly, which is very important. I think it's also important to note that I'm using unsalted butter. If you're using salted butter, then you might want to decrease the amount of salt in the dry ingredients to about 3/4 teaspoon. Now this is what your dough should look like. It's very stiff, it's very sticky. As soon as you see that everything is really well mixed in, like as soon as all the flour disappears, stop mixing because then you're going to develop too much gluten and it will be tough. Now right here I have a 9 by 5 inch loaf pan. I'm just going to take a piece of paper that my shortening came in, and I ran out of the shortening, but I kept the paper and I use it for greasing pans. That's a really good way to use up every little bit of your ingredients. Now I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper and just set it inside so it fits really well. And the shortening or the butter, whatever you use, will help make the paper stick to the pan. Now I'm going to add my dill pickle batter to this. See how stiff that looks? We want to get every little bit in there. And now with a wet hand with cold water, you can very easily just pat it down so it fits the pan. Just gonna make it nice and even. And now this goes into a preheated 375 Fahrenheit oven for 40 to 45 minutes. I like to use the fan setting because you get a little nicer browning and maybe a bit more lift, but if you don't have a fan in your oven, that's okay, it'll still work. Now this took exactly 45 minutes. First of all, your bread should be a nice golden color on the top, and when you tap on it, it should sound slightly hollow. Also, if you can kind of take a peek at the bottom of the loaf, I'm gonna just show you here. If you see that it's a nice golden brown, then chances are good that it's fully cooked in the middle. I'm gonna let this sit in the pan for about 5 to 10 minutes before taking it out. That way when you do take it out, you have less chance of it falling apart on you. Now, the best way to serve this is warm from the oven, but I am gonna let it cool just for a few more minutes before slicing into it. I know you're gonna love the taste and texture of this dill pickle bread. It doesn't taste cakey like banana bread, but it's almost more like a yeast leavened bread. It has this wonderful golden crust, and the inside texture is a little bit bouncy, but almost kind of stretchy like a sourdough. And you're gonna love making toast with this bread. I just love this as a late night snack with some good salted butter. It takes a little bit longer to toast than regular bread. You're probably going to have to put it through a few times, but believe me, it's totally worth it. And you can use this bread to make any sandwich you want, but it works particularly well with tuna salad. Tuna salad and pickles go hand in hand every time, so this is a match made in heaven. And look at all those little flecks of cheddar. I purposely didn't toast this because I wanted you to see how good the structure is even when you cut into it. You can see how well it holds together and it doesn't fall apart at all. For such a quick bread that's leavened with baking powder and baking soda instead of yeast, this scores huge points. But if there's one thing you have to do when you make this dill pickle bread, that is make a grilled cheese sandwich. This is such a fun and unique and delicious way to make a grilled cheese. I like to use mayonnaise on the outside before grilling it instead of butter, but that's just me. And there you have some ooey gooey grilled cheese and dill pickle goodness. I hope you'll give this dill pickle bread a try. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit like and share it with all your dill pickle loving friends on social media. Or if you want, check out this quick and easy no yeast cheese bread.